warning that you were given by a U.S. Air Force general. There's a lot of controversy about this, whether this is legit or not. Some people think it's psyops that's being played on you. So let's take the remaining 12 minutes and talk about it.
Right, yeah, it's psyops, because I have nothing better to do than sit around and make up stories.
No. Some people believe that psyops are being played on you. You know you definitely received the phone call, but you're being set up.
Yeah, well, the answer is this: the guy contacted me because he wants to get the heck out of the country. That's the prime directive. He wants to make sure that his finances and his wealth are intact, and he's able to get it all out, and he's able to exit quietly. He wanted this bit of information to get out there, which corroborates perfectly not only with my information and intel that I've received from my City of London sources, but also my buddy W's received as well. And all of us are pointing towards, you got three sources that are pointing towards the 2017 date. And then I heard from Steve that you had some guy on who was a major over at AFRICOM, and he said pretty much the same thing. So this is earth-shattering stuff here, folks. And I'll tell you this: after getting off that phone, to say I was somber was an understatement. Okay, that would be an understatement of the century. The guy, and some people, well, you can't have somebody go from major to a 4-star in 4 years. That sounds like baloney. Well, you know what? It's not baloney. The guy's legit. Okay, I ran a background check on him. He is the real McCoy. He was one of the heads of asymmetrical warfare.
Now, he's in the Air Force, right?
Yes.
All right. Now, I've been told that there is no asymmetric warfare unit in the Air Force. Is that correct?
No, he's consulted on that. It's not directly part of the Air Force. This is covert. This is like another level. This is a joint operational thing. Asymmetrical warfare department. There's no Air Force asymmetrical warfare department, just like there's no Navy or Marine asymmetrical warfare department. Asymmetrical warfare department is kind of like almost like JSOC, where you have Army, you'll have Marines, you'll have Navy, you'll have Air Force. It's an integrated thing.
Right. Okay.
So it's a whole other thing. The guy says this. Okay, the whole illegal alien thing. Okay, that whole timetable was written about 10 to 11 years ago. The illegals being dumped on the border is a type of asymmetrical warfare against the United States. And I believe strongly, Rick, that there's more than just illegals coming across that border. That they're actually bringing something into the country because all the Border Patrol have gotten their hands full.
It's the perfect scenario.
It is. It is absolutely the perfect scenario. If you want to bring something in, you do it. This is the way you do it. Okay? I mean, who else? I mean, today we've had Border Patrol ducking for cover as they were laying down suppressive fire. I mean, who does this kind of stuff?
Well, they fired on Congressman Gohmert a couple days ago, last week.
I did not even realize that. Yeah,
50 caliber on a U.S. congressman.
Unbelievable. Then the general said this, and I have the audio up there. Out in the blogosphere, he said the complete undermining of the U.S. dollar by the end of 2015. This goes perfectly with what my financial insiders and my sources and even my own data is pointing to.
Do you know at what point in 2015?
Probably the last quarter is what we're looking at. If I was a betting man, I'd say last quarter of 2015.
Mm-hmm.
He said 2017 and no later. Okay, the U.S. will no longer exist as we know it. Okay. The press covers and the announcements are already ready, and they'll be ready to distribute to the media to announce it to the world. The U.S. government, as we know it, no longer exists. That coincides with the dumping of the illegals and the shotgun merger of the United States into Mexico and Canada with the North American Union. There has been $8 billion that he knows of Black Ops money, and he's being very conservative here. And I'm estimating it's probably in the 30 or 40 billion plus of Black Ops money given to rebuild the Silk Road, okay, to the Chinese. That's because of all the massive amounts of money we owe the Chinese. The Silk Road is 3-foot concrete slabs with 1-inch bars and 12-inch centers. It's covered by 3.5 foot of structural asphalt and fiberglass. The only thing that's going to be moving on that will be military and commercial. He said this is why we have been deindustrialized. because China is going to be the new economic industrial hub of the world. This was done under Nixon and was accelerated under Clinton.
So are we going to become the cheap labor?
We are going to be the cheap labor, and this is why I've said many times there's a reason why the Chinese are buying idle manufacturing in places like Pittsburgh, Detroit, and Cleveland.
So the good news is the factories are coming back from China to the United States. The bad news is we will be working at Chinese wages.
Correct. In other words, your kids will be making the next generation iPhone in a sweatshop in New York City. So the control of the world, the financial control will be the City of London. The religious control will be the Vatican. Military control will be D.C. out of Denver. And then you'll have the manufacturing economic control will be China. He said that we are on schedule, if not slightly ahead. He talked about the various drone programs, how drone pilots don't really talk to each other. They're not allowed to talk to each other. They're not allowed to commune or to socialize with one another. And they're always monitored. And this is because the drones are going to be integral in enforcing and neutralizing any sort of resistance.
And let's talk about that resistance. We've got 6 minutes. What are they anticipating as resistance in the United States?
Gun owners, Christians, veterans. He said that's the resistance. That could a percentage of that population should rise up. And he said that that number one, there's no sleeping giant because the sleeping giant is dead. He said that while the sleeping giant was sleeping, it's been bled out and killed. He said that the majority of these people that are buying these guns, Rick, they're not emotionally ready. They're not emotionally ready, nor are they trained to handle what's coming. And number two, they have no size of the force that's coming against them. He says they have no understanding that certain weapon systems are what's called force multipliers. One drone can kill hundreds. They have other weapon systems that can kill thousands. It's into this thing he says that they have also staged bioweapons, one of which is the pneumonic plague, and they're beta testing it in Colorado. And as he said that, I received an email from one of my contacts saying, hey, look, a man in Colorado contracted the pneumonic plague, and there's 3 other people. They don't know how this person got it. They're saying it's from a tick, or that his pet dog, this, that, and the other. He said these bioweapons will be released. It will affect the water, the food, and the air. And he gave an example. Let's just say you have a 33-ounce can of Folgers coffee. You open it up in, let's say, George Washington Bridge in New York City. In 3 days, you could have about 20 million people dead.
Listen, when we said earlier that the illegal immigrant invasion that's underway right now, that will be the perfect cover story, then what I foresee next year is Rick, you're going to have weapons of mass destruction brought into the country, and you're going to have biological warfare agents released, and everybody's going to go, oh, no, it happened in July of 2014 when they started coming across the border.
Correct. I mean, for all we know, Rick, a patient at 0 could be walking across that border right now.
Right. No, it's very easy to see how this is going to be the perfect cover story.
Yeah.
All right. So if they start a biological attack with some type of plague that spreads throughout the country, you have to shut down the country. You have to close the borders. You have to cancel passports. Nobody can leave without government permission.
Correct.
And you have the justification for heavy-handed martial law.
Yep.
I mean, this is the perfect cover story. And of course, the economy is going to crash because nobody's going to be working.
Yeah, no one has to worry about the economy.
So the banksters don't get blamed for the crash of the economy. It's the illegal immigrants who came over the border with the disease.
Yep, and you got how many people are infected with Ebola right now? Out of nowhere, you got 3 cities at the same time. They start getting Ebola. Now you got 600 people infected in 3 different countries.
When this new mosquito,
it doesn't fit the signature.
This new mosquito virus, they've got victims just south of us in West Palm Beach.
Mm-hmm. Equine encephalitis.
No, this other one. It starts. This chick. What is it? I forget how it's pronounced. It starts with a CH. But it's you die. So it's fatal. But they've got people in West Palm Beach, Florida, that are infected with this thing. Yep. So this is the perfect cover to bring down the U.S. economy and divert the blame from the banksters who robbed the system and put it on illegal immigrants and terrorists who came over the border. And now the government is going to respond to the American people demanding that they close the border. Can you see how this is going to work, V?
Oh, absolutely.
We hear you, America. You're demanding that we close the border. Bang!
All right, bang, there it goes. And here's the thing, Rick. The thing is this. One of the things the general said is that the weapon signature will not be known. Those are his own words. The weapon signature is, in other words, if you got labs, you got people trying to find out or try to autopsy this thing, they can't get the correct molecular or protein breakdown of this virus to adequately identify it, number one. In other words, the government will have complete and total, whoever's running this op, will have complete and total plausible deniability.
You know, I can see how this could easily bring about the merger of Mexico, the United States, and Canada.
Sure. They'll have to merge us in order to stabilize us. I mean, think about that.
And as the Euro-Asia Union comes together, then the argument's going to be, look, we've now have this economic giant that has appeared. We've got to match. You know, we got to fight fire with fire. They've gone with gold. We're going to go with silver.
Yep.
This is easy to see how they're going to pass this storyline.
Yeah.
To a frightened, terrified public.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What should people do?
Well, one of the things people need to do is you gotta, first of all, you get your spiritual houses in order. That's first and foremost, man. You ain't got Christ. You don't have preparation. Period. You're as good as dead. That's the first thing. Second thing is you need to get the heck out of paper. Don't sit there with your IRAs, your stock portfolios, thinking that everything's okay and that you're going to be fine. You need to get that out. You need to get into hard assets. Start getting some gold. Start getting some silver. And now people are like, well, you're doing this to sell gold and silver. I don't have any gold or silver to sell you, and nor do I have a book to sell you. You know, I don't have any of that. So I will tell you that this is what you need to do. You need to figure out if you can, if you want to offshore it, you can offshore it. If you have any questions on how to do it, you can contact me, gorillaeconomist@gmail.com. I also have a secure email which I'll give out if you're serious about getting your portfolio and your wealth protected. That's something I can take care of for you. I can point you in the right direction and help you contact the right people to get this all done.
All right.
But that's about it.
My guest for this two-part interview is known as V, the Gorilla Economist.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter. You can visit us on www.therealthingme.webs.com.